course of 30 years, Mario Kart has gone from a spin-off series to the main face of Mario as a brand. The second best-selling Nintendo game of all time is Mario Kart 8, and the series has become so successful it regularly outsells Mario platformers, which almost makes you wonder what the priorities of Nintendo will be in the future regarding Mario. This is especially true of the recently released Nintendo Switch 2, where the big new platformer that showcases the console's strengths is a Donkey Kong game, and Mario Kart is the launch title. I've been playing Mario Kart World a bit, and oh my god, it's so good. There's so many new ideas, and I fully did not expect to get a Mario Kart game that feels this fresh. It might just have been exactly what I wanted as a follow-up to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and its Booster Course Pass. Mario Kart World has also shown to me that the previous Mario Kart games are more similar than you'd expect, and a game so innovative was what the series had needed. I want to talk about how and why Mario has changed so much, as well as some of my basic first impressions on Mario Kart World. If you enjoy, please subscribe and help me reach my goal of at least 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. Thank you. Mario Kart has had 8 main entries on consoles so far, and they are all pretty similar games to each other. That is unusual compared to some of Nintendo's other series. When you play a Mario Kart game, you know what the general structure and gameplay will be like. A few cups with 4 cleanly separated tracks, as well as things like a battle mode and time trials on the side. That was established in 1992, and it's how Mario Kart was mostly handled in the future. Each game plays quite similarly as well. The kart racing physics were gradually tweaked to be more fluid and smooth, but the jump from one Mario Kart game to another usually doesn't involve a huge shift in how that game plays. Super Mario Kart feels similar to Mario Kart 64, which feels similar to Super Circuit, etc. Mario Kart Wii feels similar to 7, which feels similar to 8, etc. There are gimmicks, of course, like Double Dash, which allows you to play as 2 characters in a kart, or Mario Kart 7's air gliding sections. And I'm not saying Mario Kart is boring or bad or anything, but for the most part, you know what to expect from a Mario Kart game, because it's just that type of series. They release a new game per console comfortably and stick to a familiar formula. But it feels strange that Nintendo handles one of their biggest series this way once you see how they handle some of their other franchises. Mario platformers change from 2D to 3D, and what format a new game will take, linear or open, 2D or 3D, is completely up in the air. Similarly, Zelda had a big shift to 3D, a shift to being much more open, and each game has a very different art style from each other. These changes in style are because of Nintendo's philosophies of evolving sideways, not just forwards, and prioritizing ideas over formulas. When Nintendo thinks of a game, they tend to envision a gameplay idea first and form the IP or characters around that. Some games, like Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, even had completely different IPs in their development because of this. When Mario Kart is a series that's so known for one formula, it feels like the series doesn't follow this philosophy, the same way as Mario platformers do. And again, that's fine, they know what they want Mario Kart to be, but at the same time, that doesn't make it any less cool when Mario Kart World changes the formula so heavily. Don't get me wrong, Mario Kart World is still Mario Kart. There's still a Grand Prix mode with a few cups that have 4 courses each. There's still time trials, battle mode, and there are still even some tracks from previous Mario Kart games. But the way Mario Kart World shifts the formula makes it so that it's not just about the tracks. Each Grand Prix starts with a traditional 3-lap race, but afterwards the feel of the game almost completely changes, because each of the tracks are connected to each other. I heard it described as driving between the courses, but that's not really true, because it implies more of a separation between each of the courses. The courses gradually blend into each other, and the races are all continuous in a way that completely recontextualizes how you play Mario Kart. It's easily the most unique Mario Kart has ever felt while keeping the gameplay fun and ideas creative. One of the tracks in this game is just straight up Jurassic Park. That's really fun. Although that does bring up some questions. Who built this? Why are these dinosaurs different from Yoshi's? Let's ignore that for now. I also feel like the racing itself feels pretty different. It's not quite as hyper fast and smooth as Mario Kart 8, although that is subjective and I would need to play the game more to say for sure. The racing isn't even the main draw in my opinion, or at least it isn't the feature I spend the most time with. That would be the free roam mode. I would liken the free roam mode to a game like Burnout or Forza Horizon. They're open world driving games where the main draw is completing races and missions, and it combines that with the feel of Mario Kart, which is the best way to progress the series. It's surprising that no one's really thought to combine that style of racing with a family-friendly series before. Probably because most mascot kart racers are taking the Mario Kart series formula anyways. This game retroactively makes you appreciate how influential Mario Kart was. I do have some issues with free roam, like the system for getting each character's costumes seems a bit confusing, especially because you can't just unlock anything if you're playing as a character with no unlockable costumes. But overall, I am pretty happy with the single player offerings of the game. I should also mention the character list of the game. What is there even to say? It's just such a fun roster, and all the enemies gives this game a go anywhere, play as anyone feel. Although the lack of Diddy Kong is surprising, but at least Pauline is there. And you know, for years I have been asking, nay, demanding a return of Vampire Wario. Vampire Waluigi is an appropriate substitute. My main in Mario Kart is normally either Wario or Donkey Kong, but this game gives them a run for their money by adding Snowman and Dolphin as playable characters. DK's new design has also grown on me quite a bit. Donkey Kong Bonanza seems interesting, so maybe I'll make a video on that too eventually. Mario Kart World's art style is just so much fun, and the game manages to look pretty while not just copying the realistic look Mario Kart 8 had. That's a good segue actually, because decisions that were made in Mario Kart 8 and its Booster Course Pass have clearly had an influence on why Mario Kart World is such a different game. DLC included, Mario Kart 8 has nearly 100 tracks, completely pushing the Mario Kart formula to its limits. People have began to wonder whether or not a sequel should still have tracks from past entries, because the Booster Course Pass was so focused on bringing so many tracks back. Personally, I was in the camp that Mario Kart World shouldn't have brought anything back. Sure, there's enough tracks to fill out a game, but if they go about just having returning tracks wrong, it could end up feeling like the table scraps of stuff they didn't get into Mario Kart 8. I was dead wrong. Mario Kart greatly expands on these returning locations, and since the theming of the track spills over into the transitionary area to the next track, there's so much new content to all of them. I've played lots of these tracks before, and I've gotta say they feel completely new. I already mentioned Dino Jungle, which seemingly has Jurassic Park theming now, but there's also stuff like the added obstacles in Sky High Sundae. Hot take? Sky High Sundae is one of the best tracks in Mario Kart 8, and if you hate it, you hate fun. The Booster Course Pass was the culmination of the old way of thinking about Mario Kart, and instead of trying to capture it again, Nintendo chose a game that's different, not bigger. Well, maybe it is bigger in total, but not in terms of the number of tracks strictly. And that is a good way of handling a sequel like this. Mario Kart World is a fun, weird game that encapsulates a lot about how Nintendo likes to develop their classic titles. But it is also an even weirder game when you contrast its story with the story of the console it's on. The Switch 2 was pretty clearly marketed as a linear upgrade from the base Switch. Graphical fidelity was a huge marketing point, which doesn't really fit with the different, not bigger philosophy. That is why creative games like Mario Kart World and seemingly Donkey Kong Bonanza are crucial for the console's identity moving forward. I don't know how successful the Switch 2 will go on to be, considering everything surrounding it, like the price, but games like Mario Kart World might just be what it needs. Before I end this video, I should give a little credit here. I wasn't planning on getting a Switch 2 originally. I was planning on waiting a few months or so, but my mom surprised me by getting me one on launch day. I'm not ashamed to say this video was made because of her, so everyone, thank you to her. for making this video and for getting me a Switch. Thank you to everyone for watching as well. I'll see you later.